Hello YouTube, it's Lion here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're doing our 2024 season holiday haul. It's gonna be the first video of the year, so if you're watching this, in 2025, Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a wonderful vacation or break or whatever it is that you do over the holidays, and I'm looking forward to another year with you guys here. So there's a lot of stuff that I got, more so than I was expecting. A lot of it was stuff that I had ordered previously from Mexico. A lot of it came in. Some of it is stuff that I just bought. Actually, most of the stuff is general purchases. Some stuff was gifted to me for Christmas, so I'll mention that. And I'll mention where I got everything, more or less. We will start with miscellaneous things first, just things that are not really in the main sections that I usually have, which are, comic books, manga, and novels. And that will be section 1. So this is the miscellaneous stuff. Let's get started there. So first of all, there's 2 magazines that I wanted to talk about. So first is Den of Geeks. I got this for free. I'm pretty sure it's always free, but I'm not really sure where you can get it. I bought this, or I picked this up thanks to Bedrock City Comics, which is a comic book shop near my parents' house. Well, it's not really near my parents' house, but it is the closest comic book store to my parents' house, and it's somewhere down here in Houston. Well, you guys can't see that on the map, but it's somewhere down there in Houston, and it's pretty cool. I have not read it yet. I was hoping to read it today, since it is a snowy day here in Dallas, and there's really not much I can do outside of my house, so I'll probably end up reading this, but I thought it was cool. I'm very interested in these sorts of magazines and in concept, right? I like the idea that I can read something about things that I enjoy, which is something that isn't really common nowadays. Most of the time you just watch YouTube videos, and I do prefer watching YouTube videos, but this is a much more centralized kind of way of enjoying the same kind of concepts, right? So I think it's cool. Similarly, I got this. I was at Walmart taking my family who had come up from Mexico to just check out the store and buy stuff from there. And I was browsing the book section, because I always do, and I found this, and I thought it was a pretty good price. $8 for a big magazine is pretty cool. I've never bought one of these before. I thought the cover was pretty. I like these characters. I don't know what they're from. I think they're from Ramen Anakeno, right? Something like that. And the thing I found most interesting is that if you flip this at the right place, you can start reading Working for God in a Godless World. And if you keep going, you also get to read Ashita no Joe, Fighting for Tomorrow, which is a new series that recently got published by Kodansha. But I'm not going to buy, because it is an insanely priced series for a book that's rather small. So I'm not going to get it, but I thought that'd be cool. If I like this magazine, which I will read today probably, today recording this video, not today when it comes out, which would be on the 10th. I might buy a subscription for this, just because I enjoy the concept of getting magazines in the mail, since it's not something I've ever done before. And that's it for that sort of stuff. There's more miscellaneous things, so let's get started with that here. First, we have a D&D starter set, Dragons of Stormwreck Isle. I got this for free. It's pretty good, because it's a $20 purchase that I saved myself. I got this from Bedrock City Comics. They were doing a Christmas party of sorts in their store near my house, the one that I mentioned, and I ended up getting a raffle ticket, and I won one of the raffle prizes. So it was this. It includes a 48-page adventure booklet, a 32-page rulebook, 5 pre-made characters, 6 game die, which is, I think, is probably the coolest thing. And I like that it's about dragons, because dragons are very cool. So yeah, otherwise, I also went to NASA. My family members from Mexico were up visiting, and one of the family members was a 10-year-old kid, and he, my cousin, recently got into stars and space and stuff, and so my aunt wanted to take him to NASA, and so we did. It was actually kind of a bad trip, just because he got sick. He got nausea and headaches and stuff, while we were there, and so we had to cut the trip short. But it was so cool. I mean, I'd been to NASA like a bunch of times. I mean, I live in Houston, so it makes sense that I've been there a bunch of times. So I got a sticker. Houston, we have a problem. Pretty basic. The price is a bit much, but I do like it. I'm gonna put it on my journal. Also got these socks. I was hoping that there would be NASA socks. There were not, but I do like these space, Mars, whatever they would be, socks. I think they're really cool. The price, again, was a bit steep, but this is the first time I buy anything at NASA, so who cares? It's not that big a deal, and I probably won't ever go again. So there you go. So that's it for the miscellaneous things. Let me move this out of the way, and then we can get started with the manga, and then we'll do the novels, and then we'll do the comic books at the end. So let's get started here with the manga here. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we'll just start with stuff that I've been buying kind of normally, right? So here's Dinosaur Sanctuary number 5. I can't remember when I bought this. I mean, it was over the break, but I can't remember if this is one of the first purchases or one of the last ones. I think it was one of the first. I'm pretty sure this was also at Bedrock City Comics because they had a sale. It was 25% off, so I got it for, I think $12, something like that. And I love this series. I think it's really great. It's really awesome. I would like some color pages here and there, but it's not that big of a deal. I just really enjoy this kind of like, science-y, not so crazy or action-oriented kind of take on Jurassic Park. I think it's nice. You have Pluto, number 4. I always see this really expensive, right? Like $17 because that's the new pricing. But this is the old pricing of $12.99. And this was also from Bedrock City Comics. So I got this for even cheaper. I think it was about $11 at that point. And I'm very happy about that. I only have 3 more books to collect in the series before I can, read it completely. And I'm looking forward to doing so at some point. I don't know when, but I will at least try to read the first half of the first 4 books that I own before I finish collecting this. So because I don't enjoy collecting everything before buying it because I feel like that might be a waste of money. But I have been doing it for a few series lately, so I want to try to avoid doing that going forward. So I'll probably end up reading all of the books I own of Pluto before I buy more, but we'll see. Speaking of another series that I've bought before finishing reading, that's Gleipnir, number 8. This is the last book that I was missing last month. At the end of the year, I ended up getting all of the ones that I was missing, except for book 8. I was at a Books A Million near my house, because it's at a mall, and my cousins were at the mall, and I was there, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go pick something up. And this is what I got. Very happy to find this. It's usually pretty hard to find. I feel like the middle portion of Gleipnir was pretty hard to find for a long time. And I was always stuck on number 8, and I couldn't ever find it at any of the stores that I frequent. I did have to pay full price for this, which is not great. I would have preferred not to, but ultimately, I think it's the only book that I paid full price for. Maybe there's 2 of them total, and some of them I got for like $4. So yeah, actually, you know what? I did not get this at Books A Million. That was a different book that I was thinking about. I got this at Kinokuniya right there. I got this while I was out with a friend. Friend of the channel, the guy that I'm always hanging out with when I go back home. I got it from Kinokuniya. I did have to pay full price for it. Not great. It is what it is. It's not that big a deal. Overall, it's fine, right? So yeah, Gleipnir 8. Then I bought Seal of Celestial Shadows number 4 on Amazon. I love these covers. I think they're amazing. I love how beautiful, almost almost really realistic, and then the funny little manga style as well. I think it's really nice. This story is really awesome. I mentioned it in my video previously. It's one of the best manga that I read in 2024. I did not mention that it was a supernatural series, and I think that might have been an issue. I remember a commenter mentioning it, but I just forgot about it. But it is supernatural. It is a historical fiction story, and it's really, really great. If you like Shogun, you might like this because it's not exactly the same, but it has similar kind of beats here and there. Especially if you're interested in samurai culture, which is something that wasn't really explained that well in the Shogun TV show. So yeah. Then we have Blue Lock number 16. I did buy this at Books A Million. That's the store. That's the book that I bought there. And yeah, it's very nice. I'm I'm very excited about this. I know that the series, or the second season, recently ended. And my cousin was talking about it, and I was like, dude, don't spoil it for me. I have not read that portion of the manga yet. He was like, okay, I won't. But it was pretty funny. And I just love Blue Lock so much. I can't wait to read it. I haven't had a chance to, but I'll probably do it in the next couple days. It'll for sure be part of my January TBR when I make that video, right? So, yeah, then we have a Mexican manga. This is, she was interested, no, sorry, the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. Volume 2. I prefer the Mexican edition for 2 reasons. One is cheaper, and 2, it has this stuff that I'm pretty sure we miss out on when we get the American editions, because I'm pretty sure Yen Press is not going to bother bringing that information in, right? So, yeah, this story is pretty interesting. I don't necessarily think it's my favorite. I don't dislike it at all or anything like that. And I am very willing to collect it because it basically would be like 1 manga a year. At the rate that it's going now. But I really enjoy the relationship aspect much more than the initial, you know, meet cute version that is kind of the reason for the title, right? So I really enjoy the art style. I really enjoy the coloring in the manga. I like the concept of the relationship between the characters. I'm not necessarily sure that it's been super well handled yet, but it's only been 1 volume, right? So at the end of this volume, I might change my mind. I might think that it's better or worse. I'm not really sure. But if that is the case, I will mention it at that point. And yeah, overall, pretty great stuff. So yeah, there you go. That's book 2 in that series. Then we have Iruma-kun number 2. My sister got me this for Christmas, so I'm really happy about that. Iruma-kun is probably the next big series that I'm going to try to collect. There's only 8 volumes out in the US so far, physically. I think there's 12 of them digitally, and a lot of them seem to be available for a pretty low price overall. So I'm looking forward to buying more of it, but I do want to collect this as I'm reading it. So I'll read book 2 before I purchase book 3, and so on and so forth. Here we have Chain Soldier number 9. I bought this at Books A Million alongside Blue Lock. And I'm very happy I did, because I was kind of falling behind here on a bunch of series, and I was able to kind of catch up to them thanks to these Christmas purchases and stuff like that. So I'm very happy about that. We have Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid number 8. This one was half price because I got it from a used bookstore that I frequent back at home. I think this is when Kobayashi has to talk to Kana's dad. I've seen clips of that before. And then we have a bunch of Mexican manga, so bear with me. Here we have Tenkaichi, which is another Record of Ragnarok type series. Here's book 1. Actually, let me do this differently. So here's book 1. This is called Tenkaichi, The Decisive Battle. It's by Yusuke Nakamura, who I'm pretty sure I've heard of before, and Kyotaru Azuma. This is Mexican, so it comes with a bookmark to begin with, and it has, you know, that Blue Lock style artwork on the covers. And the best thing about this is probably supposed to be the artwork. I'm pretty sure the story is pretty basic. It's like Oda Nobunaga, for whatever reason, wants to find out who's going to be the next leader of Japan after his death, and he decides to have a tournament style system in order to decide that, right? So we get to learn about historical Japanese figures, and we get to see them fight each other and others, although I'm pretty sure there's some issues here where it's not historically accurate, like characters that should not be there are there at the time in which this happens, which shouldn't happen, but at the same time, you know, who really cares? Yeah, so let's see. I guess there's a printing issue here. I'm not really sure, because it looks like that repeated. So we'll see. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like there's a bunch of pages here that repeat. That's not that big a deal, actually. I don't really mind too much, but we'll have to see, because it might not be. It might be a stylistic thing. We don't know, but I'll see. I'll have to mention that in my review when I make it. So we'll see. But yeah, that's Tenkaichi number 1. And since I was on a roll, I decided to get number 2. It's what the cover for that looks like. It's just the sketch version of this. Here's number 3. I like this character a lot. I think she's very interesting. Here's number 4. I like the colors on these a lot. You know, I do like the Record of Ragnarok style, where it's just black, white, and a little bit of red and gold here and there. But I like the different colors that they choose here. Here's number 5. This one is really awesome. I like these gigantic characters. I think they look really cool. And here's number 6. And that was everything that was out so far in Mexico when my family came up. So there's 2 more books out already, and I'll eventually get those, but I don't know when, probably in July, if all goes well. Here's Reservin. This is another manga that's available in Mexico. This is by Kusuke Hamada. And again, here you go. That's the bookmark, just the cover image. And here's what it looks like on the inside. It looks really cool, actually. Kind of these mythological hero characters, maybe. The texture on this is also really interesting. It's very different from what I'm used to. And this story is interesting. My understanding is that there's a magical kingdom. It was under attack, probably from dragons, I believe. And this character had to sacrifice something in order to defeat them. And what he sacrificed was his child. And so this girl appears, and it seems like she is his daughter. And so now they have to go on this lone wolf and cub adventure to try to claim his kingdom back. And I picked this up just because I think the artwork looks phenomenal. I'm not really sure about the story. I'm not really aware of it, but that's kind of what I know about it, and I think it's going to be really interesting. So we'll see what I think about it. I'll probably do first impressions reviews for all of these here soon, this month for sure. Witch's War number 2. This is a female version of Record of Ragnarok. It's exclusively female. I mean, maybe there might be like a trans character or like a drag queen character at some point, because that's Japan, but I'm not really sure. I don't know. Here's book number 3. I like this cover. Nothing special on the interior. The artwork is cool. This is written by the guy that does Kakaguri, so that's pretty cool. And let me pan out here to show you the pile. So that's it for manga. Let's look at the comic books here. So give me a second to reset, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so let's get started with the comic books here. Here's some of the stuff that my sister got me for Christmas. So here's Adventure Man Volume 1, The End and Everything After. This is really cool. It's by Matt Fraction with Terry Dodson and his wife Rachel Dodson as the artist and colorist for this series. This book is huge. It's actually unexpected. I did not expect it to be this big, but I'm hoping to buy all of the other ones in hardcover before they become, inexplicably out of print and never come back. And the story is pretty interesting. It gives me, what is it? Is it called Tom Strong? Or kind of a classic, pulpy, Doc Savage type of vibe to this story. And I think it's really cool. I like Terry Dodson's artwork a lot. And I really enjoy this. I think it looks really interesting. I've read the first book, or the first issue in the series, digitally. And I liked it. So I decided to collect this. I think I had told my sister about it. And I had mentioned in-stock trades at one point. And so that's where she bought it. And so it ended up being pretty cheap, which is really awesome. I really appreciate that. I think it was cool. And I think that some of them are available still on in-stock trades. And they should be about $10 a piece. So that's a pretty good deal. Then some stuff from Mexico. So here we have these Mexican historical, recountings of Mexican comic books. So this is book 3 in the Treasures of the Mexican Comic Book Industry series. This is by Luis Cantus, who is a Mexican historian for comic books and for comics of all types. This is for the super geniuses, or los super sabios, which is, in my understanding, an equivalent version of like Peanuts, or maybe something like Calvin and Hobbes, right? It's kid-friendly kind of storytelling that deals with a bunch of different characters that all kind of go on these silly adventures, doing things, right? I'm not really sure if that's the case or not. I'm not really familiar with these, which is why I buy these, because And I think it's interesting to learn about my native country's comic book industry, which basically doesn't exist at this point, or is very much focused on importing. You know, Mexican companies only import comic books from the US, some from Europe, and they mostly import manga. That's what most comic book readers in Mexico read nowadays, right? And here's book 2 as well. This is Tawa. Tawa is Mexico's version of Tarzan. The thing is that he fights against these eldritch horror type characters. So it's like if Tarzan ended up having to fight the Cthulhu Mythos characters, and it's really interesting. I think it's really cool. The first one that I have in the series is called Calimán, which is a Mexican character. Well, he was created by Mexican people. I think actually created by a Cuban guy in Mexico. And it's more a kind of the shadow kind of character that is trained by, you know, Asian monks, and he follows kind of like Buddhist kind of ideals, and he goes across the world fighting things, right? So I think I've made a review for the modern Calimán series, but I have not looked at the original stories. And this year I'm hoping to do reviews for all of these books and show them off to you guys. But I don't have any knowledge about when that will be, right? But I hope that I will at least cover the first 5 books in the series this year, but we'll see, because they kind of come out sporadically, and then I only have access to them sometimes. It depends on the distributor, and then me being able to buy it, and then my family members being able to pick it up for me. So it's very difficult for me to get them, but I have managed to get 3 out of the 4 that are currently out. There should be about 7 of them by the end of the year, and hopefully I'll do a review for at least the first 5 by the end of the year, right? So yeah, then my sister got me this as well. This is Invincible Ultimate Collection number 7. I'm nearly done with this. I think I have 5 books left in the series, and I think this is when we get to see, you know, MILF Eve. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. Some really cool stuff happening here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure MILF Eve happens here. Yeah, there you go. Best comic panel in Invincible. I mean, that's a joke, but I do see it a lot on Instagram and Twitter, so that's fun. We have another Mexican manga here. This is something my uncle got me. These were supposed to be a new run of this Flash Gordon collection. It's supposed to collect all of Flash Gordon in about 47 books. And the first entry was supposed to be 50 pesos, which is about $2.50. However, my uncle did not end up paying that. He had to pay 15 bucks because of resellers and crazy, you know, spec people. And so this is the book. It has some issues with the printing of this, you know, hot pressing or whatever, so it doesn't look great, but it doesn't look that bad either. And it has a little pamphlet that has information about the characters. I'm not going to open it yet because I want to open it specifically on the video that I do a review for this on. So I'll wait for later, but that's a really cool concept. I think it's really interesting. It's not something that we get here in the States. I think the current publication of Flash Gordon is being done in these kind of Ultimate Collection type books that are much thicker. They cover about the same concept as these ones from Salvat from Spain, but it might be a bit faster, although it's significantly much more expensive than these editions. Although I'll probably end up having to buy those if I want to read more Flash Gordon, because getting these is insanely hard due to just distribution, speculators, and just travel costs and expenses, and the difficulty of me actually being able to buy these at any given time, right? So we'll see. I'll probably end up getting the American editions, but I wanted at least one of these Spanish/Mexican editions. So yeah, here we have Superman number 2, The Chain, Joshua Williamson. Although this is not the artist that we had in the first trade, which is a bit of a shame, but he looks good anyways. I think the style here is good. But I would have liked to see Jamal Campbell continue on with Superman. But I think he's got to do Satana now, so it is what it is. And then this is the last book that my sister got me for Christmas. This is Dragonero, which is an Italian sword and sorcery comic book. As you can see, enter the world of magic and fantasy. There are like 30 or 45 volumes of this. But in the US, when you got the first one by Dark Horse, Dragonero, this is basically Dragonero issue 0. And it's a bunch of stories that all kind of introduce us to the Dragonero universe, which is Black Dragon / the Dragoneer, right? It's by Luca Enoch, who is an Italian creator, and Stefano Veti and Giuseppe Matteoni. And I think the artwork looks really, really interesting. I think modern issues are in color. So it used to be a black and white publication, then eventually turned into color publication. And this is basically the first story in that series. I'm looking forward to it. In Mexico, they published a Dragonero / Conan crossover, and I'm looking to get my hands on it. It's published by Panini, so it should be easy to get. I just need to wait for a sale. And I thought that I would need to read the original Dragonero story before I read any of the crossovers, and I think that's a good kind of concept to follow. So I had put this on my wish list for Christmas, and my sister was willing to get me quite a few things, so I'm very happy about that. That's it for collected editions. I do have a bunch of single issue comics that I want to talk about now. So here we have Absolute Superman #3. I have not read this yet, but it looks great, and this is probably the most important part that came out of it. So I like how she looks quite a lot. Sandoval's faces are not great, but at least in that page, it looks pretty good. And then we have a bunch of dollar comics that I got. So here we have Iron Wolf, the complete Howard Chaykin classic. I got this for $1, so I don't know. I just went to Bedrock City Comics. They had a $1 comic sale, and I just picked up 10 to 12 of them that I thought would be interesting. So here we have Adventures into the Unknown. I got this just because I wanted the Frazetta art. You have Amazon Woman. I like these artworks, these prints on the covers. They're very, very beautiful. And this is exactly my type of thing. I like Jungle Girl characters. I like big cats. It's right up my alley, basically. Here's Amazon Woman, Curse of the Amazon. Then we have these interesting collections of private commissions. So these are all adult commissions that are collected into these little comic books. They're basically just like fine art collections. They're basically tiny art books, and I thought that was cool. We have the original Magnus Robot Fighter by Valiant. I don't know if this is the original one reformatted, or if this is the first run that Valiant makes after the original series. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but I'm looking forward to reading it. I think it'll be pretty cool. You have Weird Romance. I got it because of the cover. I thought it's really, really interesting. It's also one of these crazy sci-fi / fantasy anthologies that are very classic that I enjoy. We have Liberty Meadows. This is issue 17, I think. And the one I had before was issue like 5 or 20 or something. I can't remember. I will buy the collected editions of Liberty Meadows at some point, but for now I'm just kind of trucking along, trying to find different ones here and there. We have Lords of the Ultra Realms. Very cool concept. I like the artwork here a lot, and the coloring on this is awesome, so I picked it up because it was $1. And finally, we have Eternus. I remember I wanted to pick this up, and then I realized that it was like a weird anthology / the artwork wasn't that good, and so I never did. But I saw it for $1, so I decided to pick it up. Hopefully it's good. I don't know. We'll have to see, but that's it for physical stuff. I did get some digital comics, so I'll show you them in just a second. Let me boot up my iPad. Let's see, comics and manga. Okay, here we go. So I can't remember where we stopped last time. I'm pretty sure around here somewhere. So I got 4 of World's Finest. They were about $1. Sorry, they were $2 a piece. I got all 4 of them because I had some extra cash to blow, and then some extra manga that I got for free because they were doing book ones or volume ones for $1. Or sorry, for $0. They were doing them for free. And I got some of these, although I'm pretty sure I have all of these in some capacity already. I just can't pass up a deal. I always feel nice getting something for free, even if it's technically not owned by me at this point, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, the best purchase here was probably World's Finest alongside the gifts that my sister got me. So I appreciate that a lot. And that's it for the comic books. So now it's time for the novels, and let's just stick with the digital ones for now because I only have 1 physical one. So let's see if I go back to on my iPad, go back to books, go back to anything. Okay, so there's a lot of interesting sales going on this year. So let's see. I think the December haul ended around here. So we have Soul Relic books 1 and 2. I think I got these for 99 cents a piece. Then we have some of these that I picked up and then I opened later. So here we have Elitis. I'm not really sure what that is, but it was by Atheon, so I decided to pick it up. Defiance of the Fall. There was a new book in this series that came out. I think there were 17 total, and the new book was full price. All of the other ones were 99 cents. The thing is, I didn't want to buy $17 worth of books without knowing if I would like them or not, so I stopped. Here we have Overpowered. I think I bought these in December. Battle Mage Farmer had the same deal. The last book came out, book 9. And so all of the previous books were on sale. I had the first 3, so I decided to buy the rest of them. And I will just have to wait for a different day, probably a double or triple points Kindle day, to buy the last book in the series, just so I get the most bang for my buck. I also got the final book in Titan Hoppers, Fleet Champion, or at least the latest book. I'm not really sure if it's the last one, for like $1, I think, as well, because it was another sale. I got some JCM Burn books here and there. I got the ER Hatch's Blast Man, Primal Apocalypse, because there was this Wraith Marked Creative sponsored, what's it called? It was like a humble bundle type of idea, right? It was like a way to gather money and cash for a special cause, and they were doing that through a sale of a lot of their books, and so I ended up buying quite a few of them. So here we have Way of the Wizard, The Black Gate. This used to be about dungeons. Bleeding Stone, which is a Native American type of fantasy that I'm looking forward to reading a lot. I got all 3 books in the series. Mother of Learning. I bought the first book last year in the same sale, or 2 years ago in the same sale, and I had not read it yet. But for 99 cents for each of the 3 leftover books, I thought it was a good enough investment, and it wasn't gonna be something that I would hate, so I just picked up all of them. I think those are all of the ones that are available right now. I did not buy any new Heretic Spellblade. That's just because I was reading it over the break. Here we have Kraken Rider Z. Book 2 just came out yesterday. I recommend you guys check it out. The first book might be on sale, although it was on sale during that Wraithmark Creative sale, so I don't know if it's still on sale. Then I got Cowboy Necromancer by Harmon Cooper, because he was putting it all up on sale yesterday. I don't think it's on sale anymore. And I think that's it. So yeah, that's it for digital novels. The last real novel that I got was Brandon Sanderson's Arcanum Unbound. My cousin from Mexico City, she was at the bookstore with me one day, and she was looking at books, and she was like, "Hey man, you want a book? I'll buy it for you." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And I got this because this is probably one of the few Brandon Sanderson books that I have not picked up at all. And I think I need to read Dawn Shard if I'm going to reread all of the Stormlight Archive, right? And maybe it's Edge Dancer that I need to read, but one of them is in here, so that's the one I need to read when I do my reread for Stormlight Archive, now that it's over for the time being, right? Because the first 5 books came out, and that is like the end of the first Stormlight saga. There's the second one coming, in 2030 or something. So yeah, that's it for that. I think the only other thing that I had left over was a Humble Bundle opportunity that I picked up. So let me show you that real quick. If I can pull it up here. Because I can't remember if I bought it already or not. Let's see. I think I did, so I'll just show you. Yeah. So they have this Humble Bundle option. It's Manara, Mobius, and the Meta Barons. So it's all of the stuff here. So you have Metal Horland, all of the Inkle, Meta Barons, more Meta Barons, Carthago, before the Inkle, more Meta Barons, more Inkle, Muse, which I've reviewed before because I had already bought it from a different Humble Bundle. So I don't really recommend it for that specifically, but the Milo Monaro stuff is awesome. His artwork is phenomenal. So here's Gulavera, The Golden Ass, Pandora's Eyes, and a bunch of other stuff by Mobius and other humanoids creators, other creators in the more classic European kind of style, right? So yeah, I picked this up. It was $25 for the whole thing, because that's a minimum amount. You can adjust the donation here, so you can do custom and basically give it all to Freedom to Read if you want. And that's what I recommend you do if you're going to buy one of these Humble Bundles. Just make sure that you give it as much to the the people that are trying to get donations. And that's usually what I do. So yeah, I picked this up already, but it's still available. It should be available the day that I release this. So you guys should check it out if you're interested. I recommend it. I think that these Humble Bundles are great. They're awesome ways to check out new series, and they're usually really cheap. They give you EPUB and CBZ and PDF file versions of these. So you have a lot of options. So yeah, check it out. But yeah, that's it for my haul for the holidays. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you got over the holidays. What was your favorite thing that you bought? Let me know down in the comments. And thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys later.